Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy, and today's quick tip is for 1Password users. We are looking at the developer tools. I am going to show you how to set up the SSH Manager in 1Password so you can manage and organize all of your SSH keys, which you can use to log into places like GitHub and you're hosting your VPS securely over the SSH protocol without using any passwords. And 1Password can manage and organize all of your keys, making this process incredibly easy. This tutorial is going to assume that you are already a 1Password user and you have the 1Password app installed in your computer and you just want to learn more about the developer tools, in particular how to set up the SSH Manager to manage your SSH keys. To get started using the 1Password developer tools, you need to first enable them in the 1Password settings. Open up the 1Password app on your computer and sign in. And then you're going to go to the 1Password settings. On a Mac, I'm going to come up to the top menu, click on 1Password and choose settings. And then you're going to go down to developer. As soon as you tick this box, show 1Password developer experience, you're going to get a little link over here in your sidebar that says developer. So here we go. I'll tick the box and there's developer. That's all we need to do. I'm going to close this down for now so we can see what's in that developer tab. So SSH Agent, this is going to manage your SSH keys, get commits, and authorize SSH connections. The environments, currently in beta, simplifies secrets management with environments. So when you see environments, just think of the .env file that you see in the code. CLI, access 1Password from the terminal to load secrets, manage items, and more. So that's going to be super handy. Watchtower is like having your own personal security guard. It is watching over your SSH keys and is going to alert you if there's anything that needs attention. I'm going to open up the settings again. 1Password settings. If I go to developer, notice it has all the options to set up the SSH agent, to enable the command line interface to the CLI, and to enable Watchtower. Now you can do it all here in the settings, but we can also do it in the developer tab since we have enabled the developer tools. So to do so, you're just going to click the links under each one. First, we'll set up the SSH agent, which you are going to use to manage existing SSH keys and to create new SSH keys, much easier than you did in the past. Sign, get commits, and authorize SSH connections. So I'm just going to click the link, View SSH Agent. And just notice the first line, SSH without the headache. So securely store, sync, and access your SSH keys with the built-in SSH agent. Authorize the connections with biometric. So if you have fingerprint, you can use it as well. And even sign git commits. And to learn more about the SSH agent and to build on your developer skills, if you are learning like myself, just click the link on each of these categories. That's going to open up the 1Password developer help articles. This is filled with tons of great information. I'm just going to click on the button, Set up the SSH agent. You'll then see this little pop-up telling you that you need to add this little snippet of code in the config file, which is located in the hidden directory .ssh. This is where SSH keys are stored on your Mac. So you just need to add this line of code in the config file by clicking copy snippet and adding it manually, or you can click edit automatically and have 1Password do it for you. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll click edit automatically. I get a little success message letting me know that the SSH agent was configured correctly, and I can see by the little tag that the SSH agent is running. So back in the developer tab, SSH agent running, I can see there's one available SSH key. I can click on view SSH agent. That is going to show you a list of all the available SSH keys. You also have tabs for bookmarks and activity as you start using them. And if you look in the top right, click on settings. That'll take you back to where we just were. There's also some advanced settings here. These are unchecked by default. I'm just going to keep those as is, but you can go to the support article to learn more and decide if you want to change any of those advanced settings. To add, import, or create new SSH keys, you can just click the button plus new SSH key. You can also get to this from anywhere in 1Password by just clicking on new item. If I click show more, you'll see SSH keys. You can also just do a search, SSH, click that, and that'll get you to the same place. Whenever you're creating a new SSH key, Whether you're doing it the old way, using the terminal, or the new easy way, using 1Password by clicking on Add Private Key and generating a new key, you're actually generating a pair, a private key and a public key. The private key is the one that you never share, you never show anyone, and the public key is where you put on your VPS and other places. The public key is worthless without the private key. When you're manually adding an SSH key, so whether you're going to paste it from the clipboard after you copied it from the file, or if you're going to import an SSH key, or just drag and drop an SSH key, you want to make sure that it is the private key file that you're dragging or adding. I created an SSH key for Claude Code to connect to my hosting or VPS in the terminal. That did not get added when I enabled the SSH agent. So I'm going to drag in the private key. You always can tell the private key from the public key, as the public key always ends with a .pub file extension. They'll be the same name, so you know it's a pair, but the private one does not have the .pub at the end. So I'm going to take that one and just drag it right onto 1Password, and I can just give it a name or just keep it as is, which is what I'm going to do, and I'll just click Save. And now when I click on Developer, SSH Agent is running. I have 2 available SSH keys. I can click View SSH Agent. I can see both of the keys. I can click View All SSH Keys. That's going to take me into the 1Password dashboard where I can just click to open them. I can copy, paste. I can access them here. And notice I've got this filter up top, making it super easy for me to see all of the SSH keys that I have stored in 1Password. And by the way, when you add a private key, it also keeps track of the public key together. Let's go back to Developer and we'll finish with the remaining developer tools. So I'll click Developer. So environments, there's really nothing you need to do here. It's enabled, it's ready to go. If I click View Environments, you're going to see I don't have any environment set up, but when you're ready, you're just going to click plus new environment to add them as you need them. Let's go back to Developer, and now we're going to set up CLI, or 1Password in the terminal. So I'll click View CLI. Getting started with CLI, you do need to install something in the terminal. So go ahead and click Learn More about 1Password CLI. Step 1, you need to install the 1Password CLI. I am on a Mac, so I'm going to be using Homebrew. You can also manually download something on a Mac, and there's also commands for Windows. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the Homebrew command to my clipboard and then open up a terminal window. Brew install 1Password-CLI. That's all you need to do to install it. I'll tap return. Homebrew is doing its thing and installing 1Password. It says that 1Password CLI was successfully installed, and we can confirm that by just typing in OP for 1Password space -- version, tap return, and there we have it, 2.32.0. All good. Now we go on to step 2, where we just need to turn on the 1Password desktop app integration in the settings. So when you're back in 1Password, click on Developer, go to CLI, click on View CLI. Now you can click this right here, Enable Integration, or if you click on Settings in the top right, in the Developer tab, we're going to scroll down below the SSH agent. You'll see Command Line Interface, CLI, tick that to integrate with 1Password CLI. That is basically doing the same thing as clicking the button in here, but that's just another way to show you around the interface. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I really think that you should go through all of these to see what you can do with all of these tools, because they're pretty awesome. Notice at the top, CLI is installed, so we're good to go there. Let's go back to the help article. We're on to step 3, where it says to enter any command to sign in. So OP vault list, let's give that a try. Let's open up the terminal. OP for 1Password space vault space list, tap return. Yes, I'll give it permission. And now we just need to authorize access between the Mac OS terminal and the 1Password vaults. So just go ahead and click on the button Authorize. And that just generated a list of your 1Password vaults. I'm going to clear the terminal by just typing out clear and tapping return. And to see a list of all of the 1Password CLI global commands and flags, you can just type out OP 1Password space -- help and tap return. And now you got a big old list to go through and learn. So just notice the first line, 1Password CLI brings 1Password to your terminal. So anything that you would have needed in the 1Password app, you can now access in the terminal. You need to turn on the 1Password app integration and sign in to get started. And you're going to sign in by using this OP sign-in. If you look here, usage, this is telling you how to actually use the 1Password CLI. You type OP space, you enter a command, and then if you want to add flags, you add those after the command with a space in between both of these. So here are the commands. Here's some more commands here. You can see the sign in command. So you type OP space sign in, and then there's global flags. These are just kind of additional things that you can add after the commands. So I'm just going to type in, if I type in who am I, so OP space who am I, that was one of the commands, it's going to say the account is not signed in. So now I'm going to sign in by doing OP space sign in, click authorize. Now I am signed in. So now I can do OP space who am I, and now it recognizes me because I am signed in. We are now on the last tool, Watchtower. This is the eyes and the ears of the developer tools. This is looking at that .ssh folder, and it's basically going to tell us if there's any new keys that need to be brought into 1Password, and if there's any keys that are already in 1Password, Watchtower is going to tell us, okay, we don't want to keep them on the local disk drive anymore. We want to just keep them in SSH key, so you should probably remove those from the local folder. So let's go ahead and enable Watchtower. We'll click View Watchtower, and we can just check the box to check for developer credentials. So once we check this, Watchtower is going to go look in that folder and see if there's any keys that need to be brought in, or if there's any keys that we should get out of there because they're already in 1Password. So let's go ahead, check for developer credentials. Okay, we're turning on the Watchtower. You can see here it is enabled. It found two keys on the disk, and it's got exclamation marks. So if I twirl this open, it's going to tell us why there's an exclamation mark. Watchtower is telling me, okay, bozo, I found two SSH keys in the .ssh folder. So nice job creating them because it is the best practice for connecting the server securely. However, they're sitting in unencrypted plain text files, so anyone could actually grab your private keys if they had access to your computer. Watchtower also checked my 1Password and said, both of these keys are already in 1Password where they are safe and secure. So there is no reason for you to keep that unencrypted plain text file stored on your Mac when you've already got them in 1Password. So I would recommend that you just delete those redundant copies, and to delete them you can click Show on Finder. You can go to the Finder and actually see them, or you can delete them right here from 1Password, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll click Delete SSH key from disk. Yes, I understand that's going to permanently remove the key, but I've already got them in 1Password, so I'm good to go. I'll click that, and I'm going to do the same for the second one. Delete SSH key from disk. Yes. My security guard Watchtower is telling me, nice job, you are all done. I could not find any SSH keys that need your attention in the .ssh folder, but I am going to keep looking, and if I find one, I am going to let you know. So I can go back to developer tools, and a bonus tip, you can also use 1Password in VS Code. There is an extension available in the VS Code marketplace. You just have to make sure that you've already enabled and installed the 1Password CLI before you try to install from the VS Code marketplace. So you can click this, that'll take you to the VS Code marketplace, or just open VS Code, go in the left sidebar to the extensions tab, and do a search for 1Password. Just make sure it's the official 1Password extension. Click install. Yes, I trust it. It's going to make you choose your account. So I'll click choose the account. I'll click allow. Now it's going to make me choose. Authorize, just like we did in the terminal. I'm going to choose the vault that I want to use. I am up and running. If you want to disable it, you can click disable, click uninstall. You now have access to the 1Password developer tools right inside of VS Code. How awesome is that? Congratulations, you just set up and unlock the power of the 1Password developer tools. And my name is Mike Murphy, your AI handyman. Cheers.